Stupid It's On, Season 8, Episode 24, where we watch Seven Little Johnstons, Season 14, Episode 1, and I wore her ass out an hour ago. I'm Chris Lorenz.
Squatty potties are a necessity for LPs. This is Brian.
They call it a booty map. This is Noah Singer.
Those are all quotes from the show we watched this week. But last week we watched Love Undercover on Peacock, and we put a poll on X, and you guys voted a top third show. Did not agree with us, but might have agreed with our friend Leah. Shout out to Leah. Maybe she voted in the poll.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're like a really big soccer fan or something, you know.
I don't know. Noah, yeah. What show do we watch this week?
What did we watch? The Johnstons, all 7 of Forsyth, Georgia, I don't know, are the subjects of this reality documentary series. The Brood, TLC says, are the world's largest known family of achondroplasia dwarfs. Achondroplasia is a genetic disorder of bone growth, but the series demonstrates that size only matters in the amount of love the Johnstons provide. Trent, a ground supervisor at a local college, and housewife Amber have 2 biological children, Jonah and Elizabeth, while Anna, Alex, and Emma were adopted from Russia, Korea, and China, respectively. Episodes deal with everything from high-drama soccer tryouts to a disastrous attempt at birds and the bees discussion, all framed by the family tackling a massive renovation of their 6,000 square foot, circa 1891 home. That is 7 Little Johnstons and a probably inaccurate show description for season 14 on TLC or Max.
Yeah, definitely did not see any renovation in this episode.
Yeah. I always read the Google show description, and this is the first time it really came up short.
The AI one?
No, like the sidebar one.
Okay.
Yeah. Like relatively on point, you know. But yeah, when it got into like high drama soccer tryouts, like that must have been like season 3, I'm guessing, you know, something like that. This show's been on a minute.
Yeah, 14 seasons. That's a long time.
Yeah.
To give an example of, so they have 5 kids, 2 of them biological, and then 3 they've adopted, and like 2 of them are like they're pretty old. They're older. They've graduated college. They're like moving on with their life, and then the other 3 are like in high school. So like 14 seasons theoretically is 14 years ago. So like, you know, they're probably like 5, 6, 7 at the time, you know, and probably didn't even have all of them when this show started.
Yeah. Are they all in high school? The other, so 2 of them definitely, because they're going to prom.
Yep.
I forget.
What notes did I write down about them?
I'm looking at their Instagram.
Alex.
The one from Korea, one from China. It looks like just graduated high school. But then there's another. No, okay. So their non-biological daughter, who's white, she's definitely a bit older, because on their Instagram, when the Chinese and Korean kids graduate, they're like, no more high schoolers in the Johnston house. And so the other girl, what's her name?
Anna,
yeah. So
yeah, because her storyline in this episode was she bought a house. So I assume she was older, but I thought she was the biological one. But I guess she's not, because that's Elizabeth and Jonah.
Yeah. When I Google her name, like I don't get like how old she is. I have to find out like a birthday picture, you know, and
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
This is what the corner's about. This is what the corner does.
Okay, have fun in the corner.
Yeah, man. Okay. Oh, so she's okay. So quick, man. The corner goes quick. So she is 24 years old.
That's pretty young to have your first house. But you're also on a reality show, so it probably tips the scale in terms of money-wise.
I'd assume so, right? Like they must be I'm hoping they're monetizing this pretty well.
I mean, you're 14 seasons in. I hope you're doing a little bit more than just get TLC paycheck.
Probably. I mean,
She said she had her own business, so
she does. I'm on her website. She sells bracelets. But like, I don't know. We've been in the reality TV show game for quite a bit. I was not familiar with the show.
I thought you were going to say we're not monetizing it very well, which we definitely are.
That's true. Also, we are negatively monetizing.
I mean, we're not paying anything right now, so
my time is very valuable.
That's fair. But we're just hanging out.
Yeah.
I did kind of want to do. I did have some stuff I want to do outside this. We could talk about it later. But anyway, back to the show. The big, huge storyline for this whole episode is that Bryce and Elizabeth have broken up because Bryce doesn't take Elizabeth out on dates or give her the attention she wants, which
I don't know. It's like affection. I would say.
Sure. Affection's a good word. I like that. Maybe it's like, maybe he doesn't go down on her enough. Like, it's unclear.
No, I think she articulated it pretty well. She's like, I feel like I have a roommate and not like a lover, like a romantic partner. You know?
He doesn't go down on her.
I mean, that could be part of it. I don't know. Brian, what's your thoughts on this matter?
I don't even know if they were getting pants off.
Oh,
like, hands off.
No, like,
you don't even think there was any bang shika bang bang?
Yeah, I mean, once you're at that level of like roommate, then it's just like that the romance is just dead.
But they just moved in together. And spoiler alert for this season on, she's pregnant.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Elizabeth is pregnant.
I mean, hopefully with another person, not that dude.
It's with him.
It's with that dude.
Oh my god.
That dude.
Yeah. Right. It's if you watch it at the end, it's like, oh. And they had a kid. Like when I Googled the show, you see the kid. Like they got the kid's alive. It's great. It's cute.
The kid's alive.
Yeah, it's a nice kid.
That's fair. I mean, you're spoiling real life, aka the show.
Kind of. I mean, they under this season on, like they say the kid's coming. You know, I know.
Yeah, but they don't you don't know he's gonna be okay.
That's true. That's true.
Like I'm sure that's gonna be a huge plot line. Is like, apparently when you're a little person, you can't. It's hard to have a child. You're probably gonna have to have a C-section. And are you gonna
Well, they say it's not even hard to have a child. Like it's not possible. Like it would break her pelvis. It said.
Well, I agree. They did say that. I just don't know how true that statement is.
Why would they lie? That's a pretty extreme.
Yeah.
I don't know. Internet corner.
Oh man, that's a okay.
Ask Google AI. Can little people?
Well, no, it's a specific type of thing they use. They're really specific on this. The achondroplasia. No, I'm not saying that right.
Yeah. I'm sure she might have some condition that it's impossible.
No. Like, so they're not just little people, right? Like, I don't know. Like their specific condition, they keep saying it's like they are achondroplasia dwarfs. And it's like I just don't know enough if like that is one way to be a little person. Like this is like a bone growth thing, and there could be multiple ways to be that.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just don't know. I'm too naive. So I just want to be specific. It's so achondroplasia is the most common form of dwarfism. And yeah, they says that they can have kids. So
See?
I
Look
think
who was right.
I think Chris is right. I think unless Google AI is wrong, Chris called it.
I mean, Google AI could be wrong too.
It's probably wrong. Chris, you're probably wrong about this.
I'm just saying, I don't know if I trust like this show in terms of like their fear mongering, you know.
They just don't have any reason to lie about it, though.
You know, they're just being truthful about you're probably gonna have a C-section. But like, do you need to have a C-section? I don't know.
I think the dad on the show spoke probably most practically, where it's like, I think Chris is building on it. Is it possible? Yes. Is it super rare? Yes. Like, you probably need to be a bit bigger. And you see this with one of the kids, like their daughter, Emma, she's like notably bigger than the rest of the family. Like taller, broader. And so like maybe she'd be more likely to have a kid with like a natural delivery versus a C-section, or more capable, I'd say.
Here's what it comes down to, Brian, is don't listen to us. Listen to your doctor. Don't listen to this show either.
We don't know shit.
You shouldn't get like, I mean, we learned everything from TV.
Brondo, it's what plants crave. And so the other storyline that we'll go through the storylines. The other storyline is Trent and Amber are the parents, and they have their 25th wedding anniversary, and they have this like date book where you pick random dates in the book. So they're doing a Jack and Rose like titled one in this episode, which, Brian, if I told you we're going to do a Jack and Rose, what would you think that would be?
It's 100% painting, just like one person is drawing the other naked. It is not painting on one another.
100%, right? Like, that's what it is. Or you can make an argument that it's like holding them up over a railing. Or doing some sort of swimming competition to see who can swim the longest. You know, some things that happen.
Somebody drowns.
And then, but no, this date is that they paint each other. They just paint on each other. They don't paint pictures of each other. No, it's a fun date. I'm just teasing them about the name of the date. That's all.
Yeah, it does not fit at all. This date book, I couldn't trust anything about it.
I mean, it is a very like lenient stretch. I agree. Like, it's unclear why they need to tie in Titanic. I think it's a fun activity, but like, you don't need to tie Titanic into that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
And the dad is really sexual.
Trent,
like like the show is weirdly sexual in like from what I can tell.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah. He's always making innuendos about like he was like while this thing was happening, like he got a rainbow and like a pot of gold on his chest had a rainbow and his penis was just a pot of gold. He was like, "Don't go digging for that gold yet," because he's on TV on camera. And then as soon as the camera's left, he's like, "Oh, now you can go digging for gold."
Gotta go get that gold, man. I don't think I mean, they're doing a sexual activity. I
know. Well, that wasn't my quip or my quote wasn't from that segment of the show. So like not the only segment of the show that was about like sexuality. There was also like a thing where since Bryce and Elizabeth broke up, Trent taught like Jonah and the other I didn't write it down. The other kid how they should write love letters.
Oh yeah.
Which went on way too long. Like they read the poem more than once. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. Like, you read it. I know what it is. You don't need to read this poem that Trent wrote, Amber. Like, Trent read it, and then Amber read it. Like, we don't need that. Poor editing. You don't think so?
Like, I mean, it's good to see the reaction, right? Like, other people's take on it. So I'm not
saying, like, I liked when Amber read it.
Yeah. Like, I'm not so opposed to that, but I think the execution, like, yeah, that could be a little bit better. You know, like, I think getting more of the, like, back and forth reaction would be better rather than just, like, one-on-one. Like, one side, if that makes sense.
No, you have to agree with me, Noah. Brian, you have to agree with me.
I do agree with you. This is me agreeing.
You're not emphatic enough.
Oh, yeah. I really agree with Chris, Brian. I really do.
Okay, good. I was gonna have to come and find you.
So that was their storyline. Couples challenge book.
Do we go into the house?
Yeah, Anna bought a house. And there was some weird storyline about regifting a plaque.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it said "bless this home," which very cliche, but it's like it's fun.
Yeah,
and then
live, laugh, love.
Yeah, and then I think they showed a clip of like the dude saying, "This is not something I would go out and seek out myself."
Yeah,
and then of course that's why he gets rid of it.
What's your guys' take on signs with words on them? Like live, laugh, love, bless this home, bless this mess.
I don't really have an opinion, but my other half doesn't like it at all. So there's none of that.
No hats.
Although there is like a food map, which is like a food word map in the shape of a country that she has, that we have. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. Brian,
they can bring some positivity around. You don't go overboard, but they're positive.
What I really like, I need to put back up is I used to have a tablet that was playing Seinfeld around, like above my toilet. But I feel like I could just have it hanging on the wall. And I think that really brought me enjoyment, just like walking by and seeing fun, like Seinfeld scenes all the time. Yeah. Like that to me is like brings joy to my life. What doesn't bring joy to my life is like seeing the same sign that like my parents have that says like, I'm like, what does it say? You can take this chocolate from my cold dead hands or something. And like, like I'd quit chocolate, but I'm not a quitter.
Huh?
Like,
I get it.
Like they like chocolate a lot, so they're not a quitter.
Oh,
so they're not going to quit chocolate.
Oh, got it. I was confused. Yeah, that's not a good idea to quit chocolate. It's a bad idea.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think I get bored of like, and I would just ignore those kinds of signs.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Brian, should we get you a sign?
No. But that's just like with any static sign, though, Chris. You just want like moving pictures on the stuff.
Yeah. What else happened this episode? They talked about going to a Little People conference.
Oh yeah,
and that was it. Like they didn't do it. They didn't like nothing happened. They just were like they just talked about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess there was like lunch where they were like talking about finding a guy the girls were at lunch talking about finding a guy at this little people's conference. And it was really awkward to like talk to Elizabeth about finding a guy when she's like, guys, we just broke up. Like, I'm still kind of in this phase where I still love him. And to like think about another guy, just like I was not creeped out, but I was like, I know she's not ready for that. Especially since she gets pregnant.
Yeah.
But it's also weird because, like she says, she's not attracted to other little people.
That's true. She did say that. So that probably would make her awkward anyway.
Right. Like, I feel like they probably just talk about it a lot, and she needs to clarify for the audience. Like, this ain't my bag. This is not my deal.
This ain't my bag, baby.
Right. But it's also interesting because, like, it seemed like she was dating Bryce for a very long time. Like, I think maybe it was like 6 years, 5 years. Like, that's a long relationship.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's like high school relationship, right? So like,
doesn't count.
It doesn't not count, but like the chances that lasts to your 30, I don't think that's very high.
Yeah.
But I don't know the statistics on any of that. So
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Are you guys in any high school relationships still?
No. I actually don't even really talk to anyone from my high school right now.
Yeah.
Brian, are you still any? Yeah. Did you guys go to high school?
No.
Yeah. I that time period, I think I just skipped ahead to now.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, this all adds up. This is we got to inform the audience, right? Like, nobody knows our backstories. We just kind of show up in the ether. We're just here streaming live to your radio when you thought you put on Who Put That On, and now you're listening to Who Put This On, and we're here.
What else happened in this episode? I thought the interviews that these people gave for like being the 14th season were very stilted. Like, they weren't like, it didn't seem like they're like professional, like reality show people.
Oh,
to me.
I didn't really feel that. Like, I felt everyone felt like very natural. Like, I don't know. I thought they were very good on camera. All of them. Like, yeah, it felt natural. Yeah. What makes you say that, Chris? Like, you felt like they were
kind of stilted. They felt stilted. They felt forced. They didn't feel as like, I don't know. They didn't seem like emotionally invested in the storylines that we were into, like that were going on. I felt like their lives were just kind of boring, and they were like one of the questions they asked, like all the kids were there together, was like, "Would you paint your significant other?" And it's like who cares? Like, such a weird question, and all of them were like, "Ew, no," and I'm like, "You're fucking lying. Get out of here."
They were definitely squirmy. Yeah, they were squirmy in that, but I also get the context. Like, they're like, your parents are doing this, and they're like, I don't want to talk about this, you know.
It's like, I think it would be awkward to do, but like, would I not do it? I don't see a reason not to. Would you do it and then go on a bike ride naked? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the context of your parents are doing this and they don't like that image. It's like, let's move on. Why are we doing this? We are rich. We are very rich. Why are we doing season 14?
Speaking of moving on, the show is kind of boring. Like, I have nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like, as you know, before we started recording, it's like I usually have some notes about a show, some quippies to quip on, and like, things did happen, but I think this is the most reality show we've watched in a while. We're just like, I think this is really their life. Like, it's not hammed.
Yeah, there's no drama. It's just them living, and that's totally fine. But as far as like, if you're looking for like reality show entertainment, this ain't it.
Well, I think there's like a difference of like, okay, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna watch the show, then we're gonna talk about it. And then there's a difference of I'm gonna put this on, I'm gonna do some laundry, I'm gonna, do the dishes, I'm gonna fold the laundry, I'm gonna do whatever. Like this seems perfectly fine show to just put on. Like you could just put it on and do other stuff while it's happening.
I agree.
Yep.
And I think that's really nice for that, especially when you got 14 seasons worth of content. Like you're growing up with these people. That's very nice.
And we're loaded up in season 14, which like by this point, most of the audience is already here, right? So they know these people and they're like already invested. Like we're just not invested in these people's lives right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah,
it's been on the air. Oh, what's up, Brian?
I feel the same way about this as like I do with like any of the other family shows. It's just like, yeah, they're living and cool, but like ultimately, like, how am I going to get that investment? I don't know. It just doesn't pull me in.
Yeah.
Well, watch 14 seasons and see how it goes.
I can't. At least it's not the Chrisley show.
Oh yeah, the show was like perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Chrisley show, offensive to my life.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive to my eyeballs.
I mean, I know I watched it with y'all, and I feel like I need to watch Chrisley again because we bring it up so often, and like I don't recall the minutia, right? It's just like I remember it not being good, but
you could just listen to our episode and you can spare your eyeballs.
But I need to go on record. We are not suggesting that you go watch this again. That is only on you.
Only on me. Okay.
Yeah, we're suggesting go listen to our podcast about
it. I can do that.
All right. Who's the worst human being? And why is it Bryce?
Yeah.
Bryce, do you think he poked a hole in that condom so he could trap her with the kid?
I hope not, but I don't think so. I think he just like wanted out anyway. He was checked out. I would bet he did not do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think seems accurate. Like, but we don't also know if he's a bad guy. Like, that could just be who he is. I don't think he's automatically in the shit can. And like, he seems like he's there being a father too once the baby was announced. So I don't know if he's in the bad guy territory automatically.
I mean, on the scale of bad people in a show, like he's barely on the radar. I'm just saying for this episode as a whole, he's the only one that we can really point to.
I think I guess so. Well, actually, no. The people who wrote that book that made the connection between Titanic and body painting.
Yeah, that's a better one.
All right. Okay. Let's do drinking rules. Anytime there's a sexual reference, take a drink. Brian?
Anytime you actually learn something, take a drink. I think there was a lot of good information about like a life that I will never know.
Yeah, like knowing little people can't give birth.
Yeah.
Noah.
Yeah. Every time they talk about something financial, like buying a house, owning a house, credit score, take a drink.
Anytime like in a relationship, like they're like really sad for whatever reason, take a drink. Would this show be better as a Quibi or TikTok?
Yeah, there's a lot of fluff, a lot of like repetition. I remember them going into the whole like Bryce topic, and
Mm.
after a minute, I just skipped ahead.
Yeah.
I'd argue that the show or like TikTok is almost like a version of like if you follow somebody at TikTok, like this is that show. It's like you're
That's a good point.
following somebody's like life on TikTok, and
Hmm.
that's what this show is about. That's what the show is, but it's more produced, obviously, than that. But as
Yeah.
we've talked about before, a little bit, I don't know.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
What speed did Max watch this at? He's not here.
Oh
How dare
man.
he?
Man. No speed because he didn't watch it.
I looked for the speed button. Does that count?
What do you love about the show, Brian?
Okay, I really do love that this show is very wholesome. It avoids the reality show bullshit that like just introduce drama, everything like that. Granted, this made me realize just now that I'm maybe addicted to that, but I do think it was a very wholesome show.
Noah?
I'm trying to think of anything different from Brian. Like, yeah, like these seem like really good people, and they're just living a nice life. Like, I think that's the most positive thing we got going on here. It's not ham, no ham.
I like the sex positivity of the show. They're definitely like,
Yeah,
you know, talking about it, encouraging it. You know, there's nothing bad about it. So that's what I'm gonna go. That's what I love about it is the sex positivity. I love it.
yeah, good stuff.
All right, so we do a rating system between top, middle, and bottom third. Brian, what do you got for me?
I gotta put it middle to bottom. I I really just like hunted for that speed button, which is not good, but it's not just like the worst of the worst. There's nothing like offensive about it. So yeah,
What about you, Noah?
Again, similar, right? Like, it's a solid show. I think this is, yeah, man, I'm just really repetitive. It's like, this is the perfect put in the background. Like, you want like 150 episodes and really gonna dive in, get with these people, like follow them in the instas and the talks and the books. Like, you probably go to the Johnston Con. I'm assuming there's a Johnston Con. Like I think that's great. But I think like as far as like the one hit wonders go, which is really our jam, like, gotta come off strong. It, it's just solid middle. It's like this is textbook solid middle.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's middle third, like middle to middle. It's fine. Like if my parents had this on, I like it would be fine. Like I wouldn't be like, hey, can we watch something else? It would just be like, I'm gonna be on my phone.
Yeah.
See you guys later, whatever. But like,
Mm.
you know, that doesn't put you in the top, but it doesn't put you in the bottom. So
Yeah. Bottom of the bottom to the top of the top. London, Japan.
all right. Well, tell us what you thought about the show on X at Who Put This On. We'll have a poll up. You can tell us what you thought about this show.
Tell
Now
us.
we do shout outs of other stuff we've been watching or doing or whatever the hell you want to shout out. Brian, what do you want to shout out?
Katie and I have been watching MILF Manor 2. It's still pretty engaging, and it's kind of surprising what's been going on with the women there.
Oh, I keep forgetting to talk about this show. I'm caught up to MILF Manor 2. What I have to say about MILF Manor 2 is that it's nowhere as good as MILF Manor 1. Like MILF Manor 2 is just like women that are like out to play the field and a bunch of guys that are just players. It's like their dads are players and their sons are teaching their sons to be players. And it's just like this weird, like house of like everyone's giving everyone a high five when they like, bang somebody. There's like some father that like banged two people like one day after the next day, and it's like, whew, man, I don't know about this.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Wow.
banging.
I can really consider this to be Fuckboy Island 2 or something like that.
Interesting. Wow. Huh. I did not expect that turn. You'd think there'd be less banging. Like, because like you have a family member nearby. Like, you don't that's too much. Too much.
But they got the Rilfie though.
There's a lot of weird competition between like the dads and the sons for like they had this like dad son like they had to answer questions like what's the best sex position, and the sons had to give an answer, the dads had to give us an answer, and it was like this weird. This is what you watch the show for, but it just like wasn't fun. It was just like weird one-upmanship between the two of them. I don't know. Like I can't recommend watching it, but it is different.
Yeah, they're trying with stuff, and I mean I think it's a little bit more entertaining.
I mean it's no season 1.
Season 1 just was like, whoa, you went there. Okay.
Yeah, they went there, and that was more, I think, more on my like people watching scale, like high.
Yeah.
Noah, you have any shout outs?
Like the rest of America, but a little bit behind the Bear. I'm in the middle of season 3. Very good. Shouting it out.
I haven't started season 3 yet.
Solid.
All right. I'm always kind of nervous because I like season 2 ended, and season 2 was fine. Like I liked it, but I'm not like geared for more.
It's dramatic.
Yeah, it's not funny anymore. There's no funny.
There's a little funny, but it's a hardcore drama.
Yeah. The one thing I will shout out this week is Dark Matter. I've been watching Dark Matter. It's an Apple TV Plus show. It's like this sci-fi high concept show. They kind of tee it up for the first episode, so I won't spoil it or anything, but it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I've got a couple episodes left, so that's my shout out this week.
Yeah.
You can find us on Twitter at Who Put This On. You can find us or X or whatever you want to call it. You can find us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On. You can email us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next time.